Cosmic forces control the fabric of the known and unknown universe. Fire, water, earth, wind, lightning. These are contained elements with clear boundaries. Cosmic powers deal with gravity, radiation, the structure of space itself, and the forces that hold reality together. The moment you hand a character that kind of power, you're one bad decision away from making them a god who has no reason to struggle. Bending gravity, warping space, channeling the energy of dying stars sounds great on paper. But if you don't build the system carefully, you'll write yourself into a corner where your character can solve every problem instantly and your readers get bored. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the 9 steps to building the perfect cosmic power system that doesn't break your story. First, let's talk about the real challenge with cosmic characters. The fundamental problem with writing someone who controls gravity or bends space is the scale problem. Their power operates at a level so far beyond normal human experience that it threatens to disconnect them from your story entirely. Think about it. If your character can sense gravitational fields across an entire city, why do they care about a low-level street crime? If they felt the pull of a collapsing star, why would they be emotionally invested in a fistfight? This is the trap that kills most cosmic characters. The writer makes them so powerful and so aware that they stop feeling human. You have 2 real options. The first is to lean into the disconnect. Make the character someone who genuinely struggles to relate to other people because their perception operates on a different scale. They might come across as cold, detached, or arrogant, not because they're bad people, but because caring about small things requires effort when you can feel the rotation of a planet. The interesting storyline becomes watching them try to reconnect with something human-sized, despite everything pulling them toward the infinite. The second option is to ground them through cost. The power itself eats at them. Their human body isn't built to channel forces that govern galaxies, and every time they use their abilities, it damages something they can't get back. Prolonged use causes their cells to break down, or their mind starts losing the ability to distinguish between their own body and the gravitational fields around them. This keeps them human because the power itself is a threat to their humanity. Either way, cosmic users aren't just powerful, they're burdened, and that burden is what makes them interesting to write. Also, consider what these people mean for your world. A person who can increase gravity in a populated area is essentially a walking natural disaster. Governments wouldn't just recruit them, they'd try to control them, monitor them, or try to eliminate them. Are your cosmic users treated like weapons? Like gods? Like threats that need to be contained? The answer shapes your entire story. Now, let's get into the steps. Step number 1. Determine how cosmic power is actually used. Before you get into the flashy stuff, you need to answer a fundamental question. What does cosmic power actually mean in your world? Because cosmic isn't one thing, it's a category. And the biggest mistake you can make is treating it like a single power that does everything. You need to break it down into specific forces that your characters actually interact with. Gravity manipulation is the most grounded option. No pun intended. A character who controls gravity can pin enemies to the floor, launch themselves into the air, deflect projectiles by curving their trajectory, or crush objects by increasing the gravitational force around them. At a higher level, they could create localized zones of zero gravity, bend light around themselves by warping space-time, or generate something close to a black hole's pull. Spatial manipulation is about distance and geometry, folding the space between 2 points to create shortcuts, stretching the space around an enemy so they can never close the distance, compressing space so a hallway becomes 3 feet long instead of 30. This is less about raw destruction and more about controlling the battlefield in ways nobody else can counter. Star energy could be pure offense, channeling radiation, plasma, or the raw heat output of stars. This is your cosmic equivalent of fire, except the temperatures involved are orders of magnitude higher. Then there's the weird stuff. Dark matter, dark energy, the forces we can barely detect in reality. In fiction, these become the invisible forces. Characters who manipulate dark energy could exert pressure with no visible source, create barriers that can't be seen or predicted, or accelerate and decelerate matter without any apparent cause. This is the scariest class because nobody can tell what's happening until it's already done. Outside of combat, think about what these powers mean for daily life. Gravity manipulation makes construction trivial. Spatial folding makes transportation irrelevant. Star energy solves every energy crisis your world has ever faced. These aren't small implications. A single cosmic user could reshape an entire nation. Ask yourself, which specific forces does your power system actually cover? Are they all available to every user? Or does each person specialize? And what non-combat applications would logically reshape society? Step number 2. Establish where the cosmic power comes from. If you've watched my video on writing magic and power systems, you know I talk about the access and source method. The same logic applies here, but cosmic powers have a unique problem. The source has to justify the scale. Fire can come from a mutation, a spell, or a chemical reaction. That's believable because fire is a relatively small-scale phenomenon. But cosmic powers interact with gravity, space, and stellar forces. These are the building blocks of reality. The source needs to feel proportionally significant. One option is that the power comes from entities, not gods in robes on a mountain. Think bigger. Intelligences that exist in the fabric of space itself. Beings made of dark matter, or consciousnesses that inhabit gravitational fields the way we inhabit bodies. Forming a bond with one of these entities grants the ability to manipulate the forces they're made of. But the entity has its own perspective, its own priorities, and those priorities might not align with yours. You could also tie it to specific locations, places where the structure of space is weak or damaged, impact craters from ancient collisions, mountain peaks where the atmosphere is thin enough that cosmic radiation hits unfiltered, underground chambers where gravity behaves strangely because of the mineral composition of the rock above. Power tied to geography creates natural conflict. Whoever controls those locations controls the source. Or make it technological. In a science fiction setting, maybe humanity figured out how to interface with gravitational fields through implants, specialized suits, or neural modifications. The technology exists, but it's expensive, rare, and tightly controlled. This means the power system is also a political system. Whoever manufactures the tech decides who gets access. Ask yourself, does the source justify the scale of the power? Who controls access to the source, and what conflict does that create? And what happens if the source is damaged or destroyed? Step number 3, classify the users within your system. Here's where cosmic powers get interesting, because the classifications practically write themselves. Unlike fire, where you're splitting one element into subtypes, cosmic is already made up of fundamentally different forces. Gravity users are your battlefield controllers. They don't need to aim at you. They change the rules of the space you're standing in. Increase the gravity tenfold in a 30-foot radius, and every person inside it drops to the ground, unable to move. Reverse it, and everything lifts off the floor. Create directional pull, and your enemies slide toward a wall at lethal speed. Gravity users are slow and deliberate, but once they establish their zone, you're fighting on their terms. Spatial users are the opposite. They're fast, evasive, and impossible to corner. They fold distance to teleport. They stretch space to make your attacks fall short. They compress space to close gaps instantly. In a fight, they're a nightmare, because the basic geometry of combat no longer applies. But spatial manipulation requires extreme mental precision. One calculation error, and you folded yourself into a wall. Radiation users are glass cannons. They channel energy for devastating offense, but their own bodies could take damage from the output. They might wear specialized shielding, or they might just accept that every fight shortens their lifespan. This creates a natural tension. They're the most destructive class, but they pay for it with their health. And then there's the wildcard category. Users who manipulate forces that nobody fully understands. Dark matter, dark energy, spatial anomalies. These characters are unpredictable because even they might not fully grasp what they're doing. Their abilities manifest in strange, inconsistent ways. Maybe they're the most powerful class, but also the most dangerous to themselves. You could also layer skill level on top of class. A novice gravity user can barely make objects heavier. A master gravity user can create a zone so dense that light bends around it. Same class, completely different threat level. Ask yourself, how many classes of cosmic power does your world have? And do they overlap? Which class is feared the most, and why? Can a user switch classes, or are they locked in? Step number 4. Name your power system. I'll keep this one short because the advice is the same as any other element. The name needs to be easy to say, natural in conversation, and reflective of the tone you're going for. But cosmic powers have a specific naming trap. Don't make it sound overly scientific unless your world is hard sci-fi. Names that sound like physics textbook entries will pull readers out of a fantasy setting. On the other hand, names that are too mystical might feel wrong in a science fiction world. Match the name to your source. If the power comes from celestial entities, something that evokes the night sky or the void works. If it's technological, something machine-sounding and short works. If it's cultural, let the people in your world name it in their own language. And remember, your characters won't use the full name in casual conversation. They'll shorten it. Whatever you pick, figure out the abbreviation too. That's the name readers will actually remember. Step number 5, figure out the limits. This is the most important step for cosmic powers, because cosmic powers without limits will destroy your story faster than any other element. I call this the instant win problem. If a character can manipulate gravity, why don't they just increase the gravitational force around an enemy's heart until it stops? If they can fold space, why don't they fold the space inside someone's skull? If they can channel stellar radiation, why don't they irradiate the enemy's base from a mile away? If you don't solve this, your readers will ask these questions for you. And once they do, every fight scene retroactively stops making sense. Here's how you can address it. Living beings in your world could naturally resist external manipulation of the space and gravity around their bodies. Maybe it's life force, biological energy, or it's something specific to your world. But the result is that you can't just warp the space inside someone's chest and kill them. You'd have to overwhelm their resistance first, which takes time and power, which gives them a chance to fight back. This single rule eliminates most instant kill scenarios. Also, the more precise the manipulation, the more mental bandwidth it requires. Increasing gravity across a wide area is taxing, but simple. Targeting a single organ inside a living person while they're moving, fighting, and resisting requires a level of focus that's virtually impossible during combat. This means cosmic powers are devastating on large scale, but limited on a small scale under pressure. You could also have certain substances in your world block cosmic powers. Dense metals or specific minerals that scatter gravitational waves or prevent spatial control. This gives your world a built-in defense and creates demand for those materials. These aren't the only options, just ideas. But you need at least one hard answer to the instant win problem, or your system falls apart. Ask yourself, what's the single most overpowered thing a cosmic user could theoretically do? And what specific rule prevents it? Step number 6, establish the rules. Limits are what powers can't do. Rules are about how they're activated, controlled, and what happens when you mess up. Cosmic powers should be mentally demanding. This isn't fire, where you can throw a fireball on instinct. Manipulating gravity means understanding mass and force. Folding space means holding the geometry of two locations in your mind simultaneously and bending the distance between them without tearing either one apart. This stuff requires intelligence, focus, and reasoning. That gives you a natural cost. Using cosmic power would require concentration, and anything that breaks your concentration drops your control immediately. Pain, surprise, emotional distress, or simply trying to do too many things at once. In a fight, the strategy against a cosmic user isn't just to overpower them, it's to overwhelm their focus. For physical consequences, think about what channeling these forces does to a human body. In your story, the human body may not be designed to interact with cosmic powers. A sustained use of the power would cause a certain type of stress. If they're a normal human, their skeletal structure absorbs the forces they're redirecting, leading to microfractures in their bones over time. A veteran cosmic user might have brittle bones, chronic joint pain, or a body that's slowly deteriorating under the stress of forces it was never meant to channel. Radiation users have an even worse reality. Every time they channel stellar energy, they're exposing their own cells to it. Shielding helps, but it's never perfect. Long-term radiation users might age faster, develop cellular degradation, or need regular medical treatment just to keep functioning. And for spatial users, the nightmare scenario is their own power ripping them apart. If you lose concentration mid-fold, the space doesn't just snap back cleanly. A part of their body ends up slightly displaced, shifted by a few millimeters internally. That's horrifying, and it turns every use of spatial power into a risk. Ask yourself, what does it physically feel like to use cosmic power, and what does repeated use do to the body over years? Step number 7, determine the scale. Scale should feel dramatically different at each level. A beginner might be able to make objects slightly heavier or lighter. They can feel gravitational fields passively, the way you feel temperature. But active manipulation is clumsy and exhausting. They might train by trying to float a small object for as long as possible, and a minute of sustained effort leaves them drained. An intermediate user can weaponize their abilities. They create gravity wells to trap enemies, lighten their own body to move faster, or generate focused pulses of energy as ranged attacks. They can sense spatial disturbances in their vicinity. At this point, they're dangerous but limited. They can handle one major manipulation at a time, and splitting their focus causes both effects to weaken. A master operates on a different plane. They fold space to teleport short distances. They create zones of gravity that cover entire buildings. They bend light to become functionally invisible. Their control is fine enough to deflect individual projectiles by subtly curving the space they pass through. At this level, each user has developed their own signature techniques that amplify their own unique strengths. A legendary cosmic user changes the fate of the entire world. Getting here should require something extraordinary, like a catastrophic event that forced them past their limits, or a connection to a cosmic entity that expanded their capacity beyond what the human body normally allows. Step number 8, design the advanced abilities. Cosmic forces are already powerful enough, so advanced techniques for cosmic users should come from understanding. A gravity user who deeply understands the relationship between mass and space-time might learn to create anchor points, fixed locations where gravity is permanently altered. Drop an anchor point on a doorway, and everything that passes through it suddenly weighs 10 times as much. Set one on a battlefield and leave it for hours, warps the terrain even after you've left. A spatial user who masters the folding of space might learn to create pocket dimensions, small, stable folds in space that exist between 2 points. They can store objects inside, step into them to avoid attacks, or trap enemies in a compressed loop of space where the exit keeps folding back to the entrance. The cost is that maintaining a pocket dimension requires constant passive concentration. Have too many open, and your mind starts cracking. A radiation user who survives long enough to reach mastery might learn to focus their output into a single wavelength. Instead of channeling raw stellar energy that damages everything, including themselves, they emit one precise frequency. For example, radiation that passes through solid matter but disrupts organic tissue, or radiation that's invisible to the naked eye but generates extreme heat on contact. Precision control gained through years of practice they endured getting there. Also, you might want to make it so that advanced techniques can't be taught. They emerge naturally when a user's understanding of their specific force reaches a tipping point. This means every advanced cosmic user got there through a different path, and 2 of them use the same power in a different way. Ask yourself, what's the most creative advanced technique for each class in your system? And what did mastering it cost the character who figured it out? Step number 9. Stress test your power system. Now break everything you've built, on purpose. If gravity manipulation exists, can someone increase the gravity in a specific room of a building until the floor collapses, dropping everyone into the basement? If yes, why don't assassins do this constantly? If spatial folding exists, can someone fold the space between a vault and their living room, bypassing every lock and wall? If yes, how does anyone protect valuable objects? If radiation can be channeled, can a villain poison an entire city's water supply from a distance without being caught? If yes, how does society function knowing this is possible? What happens when 2 gravity users target the same space with opposing forces? Does it cancel, explode, or create an unstable anomaly? What happens to anyone standing in that space? Can a spatial user fold the walls of a prison cell and walk out? If yes, how do you imprison a cosmic user at all? You get the point. Every single question needs an answer. A specific, logical answer that's consistent with the rules of your power system. If you can't answer it, you found a hole. Fix it before you write the story. In conclusion, cosmic powers are the most exciting and the most dangerous force to build a power system around. The scale is so vast and the implications are so wide that one lazy decision can break the entire story you're writing. The key is constraint. Try not to include everything. Pick specific forces, set specific limits, and let the creativity come from characters working inside those boundaries. Start with the scale problem and solve it first. Then build the source, the classifications, the limits, and the rules. Scale the power so each class of cosmic power feels genuinely different. Design advanced techniques that reward understanding over brute force. Give your protagonist an edge that's clever, not just powerful. And then tear the whole thing apart, looking for holes in logic before your readers do. Get this right, and you'll have a power system that feels as vast as the cosmos without collapsing under its own weight. If this video helped you, hit the like button and leave a comment below. Also, if you want to get started writing your first one-shot manga, head over to mangascript.com to download the one-shot guide. It's a page-by-page breakdown of 3 high-quality manga one-shots, and it makes it 10 times easier to write your own script. And don't forget to join our Discord community. The link is in the description. It's a great place to share your work and connect with fellow creators. Thanks for watching.